All right, diving in today. We're looking at Hedera, this platform everyone's buzzing about in crypto.
Yeah, a lot of hype going around.
Some even saying it could be, I don't know, the next big thing, bigger than Bitcoin, even Ethereum, big claims.
Definitely bold. $1 million question is, hype or is there something really there?
That's what we're here to figure out. So Hedera, it uses this hash graph thing, right? Instead of blockchain like we're used to.
Right, that's their big differentiator. Claim it's faster, way cheaper, and scales like crazy compared to traditional blockchain.
Okay, but in plain English, what's that mean for, like, actual use?
Think of it this way. Blockchain, it's like rush hour in a city. Everything jammed up, slow, costs a ton to get anywhere.
Ugh, I feel that. Especially gas fees on Ethereum. Killer.
Exactly. Hedera with Hashgraph, it's like, imagine those perfectly smooth highways, multiple lanes, zooming along, transactions per second, way higher, cost tiny in comparison.
Okay, I'm picturing it, but are businesses actually using this? Not just a cool idea on paper.
Absolutely. This is where it gets interesting. There's Diamond Standard. They moved from Ethereum to Hedera.
Why'd they do that?
Gas fees were crushing them, made their whole operation too expensive. Switched to Hedera, costs plummeted, speed went way up.
So real problem, real solution, not just theoretical.
Exactly. And, that move away from Ethereum got people thinking, is this the start of a trend? Can Ethereum keep up long term if these alternatives are so much better for business?
Interesting. Okay, so we got speed, we got cost, but there's also this whole thing about Hedera disrupting the entire crypto scene. Ethereum usurper. I even saw that thrown around. Realistic or just hype?
I'd say healthy skepticism is needed with those kind of claims.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, they've got the history, huge networks, tons of people using them. Overthrowing that's a monumental task.
For sure. But are we seeing ANY signs, even small ones, that things are shifting? Could Hedera at least become a major player alongside them?
Well, look at Hedera's own cryptocurrency, HBAR. Price has been surging lately, over 20 cents now, all-time high market cap.
So people are putting their money where their mouth is, huh?
It seems that way. Market cap alone doesn't tell the whole story, but it shows growing confidence, investors interested, that can drive more growth.
Okay, so more than just talk. What LSE matters when we're trying to figure out Hedera's potential?
The ecosystem around it? Are developers building cool stuff on Hedera? Are people actually using those applications? That's what'll make or break it long term.
Right, makes sense. And speaking of that, the source material mentioned this SaucerSwap, said it's the leading DeFi protocol on Hedera. Making waves, apparently.
Definitely making waves. Consistently ranks high for decentralized exchanges globally based on how much liquidity it's got. Shows it's attracting users, growing fast, and their roadmap, they call it the Renaissance of SaucerSwap, super ambitious stuff.
Renaissance sounds fancy. What are they actually planning?
They want to be way more than just an exchange, talking about becoming like core infrastructure for digital markets, bridging the gap between traditional finance and the decentralized world.
Whoa, big picture stuff. But how are they going to do all that? What actual steps are they taking?
They're already laying the groundwork, providing like the essential building blocks for a new financial system. They're offering things like price data, liquidity data for every single HTS token on Hedera, processing tons of trades daily.
So it's not just talk, they're building something real.
Exactly. And there's more. Multi-year roadmap coming out early next year, gonna lay out their vision for this next phase of growth. Gonna be fascinating to see how they actually plan to go from, Hedera's top DeFi protocol to this cornerstone of the whole digital market thing.
It's a big jump. Definitely something to watch. And I guess if SaucerSwap can even get close to those goals, it'll reflect well on Hedera itself, right?
Absolutely. Their success could bring a lot more people into the Hedera world, get them using the tech. It's a story that's still unfolding. The next few years are going to be crucial for both of them.
All right, so far fascinating stuff. We've dug into the tech, the potential, even the SaucerSwap thing. But there's still more to uncover with Hedera. A lot more.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface. Next, we got to look at how Hedera could impact all sorts of industries. Supply chain, healthcare, even voting. And we had to dive deeper into what this speed, security, and low cost really mean in practice.
Stay with us, folks. We're going to keep unraveling Hedera and see if it really can reshape the future, not just of finance, but maybe even technology as a whole.
Going back to that Ethereum usurper thing, the source material made some interesting comparisons to history.
Oh, yeah. History repeats itself and all that.
Yeah.
What were they looking at?
Well, they talked about social media. Remember MySpace? Back in the day, it was the platform. Everyone was on it.
MySpace. Takes me back. Seemed like nothing could touch it then.
Right. But then Facebook comes along. Cleaner, easier to use, more features.
Totally changed the game, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they saying that could happen with crypto too? Like Hedera swoops in and takes over from Ethereum like Facebook did MySpace.
That's the idea. They're saying that's how tech works. Innovation leads to disruption, just like Facebook did it to MySpace. Hedera, with its speed and low costs, could pull users and developers away from Ethereum.
Interesting analogy. But crypto's still so young, changing all the time. Can we really predict that kind of shift?
Predicting the future's always tough, but we gotta stay open-minded. Crypto is all about disruption. We've seen projects rise and fall super fast already. Hedera's got the momentum, the unique features. I wouldn't underestimate it.
So, not saying Hedera's guaranteed to win, but it's definitely a contender. Reminds us that things can change fast in this space.
Exactly. And speaking of changing things up, we got to talk more about SaucerSwap and their whole renaissance plan. Not content with just being a top DeFi protocol, they want to be the foundation for digital markets.
Yeah, that's ambitious. Almost like they're trying to build a bridge between traditional finance and this whole decentralized world.
That's a great way to put it. Talking about a platform that can handle all sorts of financial stuff, from trading and lending to, like, asset management, even insurance.
That's huge EE. What are they actually doing to make this renaissance happen? Any specific features they're working on?
Interoperability is a big one. They want to connect different blockchains together, make it easy to move value between them. That would be a game changer, way more interconnected DeFi space.
Right now, it's like everyone's in their own little silo. Breaking those walls down would be massive for the whole industry.
For sure. And SaucerSwap's also focusing on security and compliance, stuff that's really important if they want to go mainstream. They know they got to meet the same standards as traditional institutions.
Yeah, those security breaches and all the uncertainty around regulations, that's been holding DeFi back. If they could solve that, it could really build trust.
Totally. And they're also planning to add more advanced trading features, like limit orders, stop-loss orders, margin trading, that kind of stuff, trying to attract more serious traders and investors to the Hedera ecosystem.
So a platform for everyone, from regular folks to big institutions. Sounds exciting, but any project this big, there's got to be challenges, right?
Of course, building a platform this complex, keeping it secure, offering all these services, it's not easy. And figuring out the whole regulatory landscape, that's a whole other beast.
Plus, there's a ton of competition in DeFi. SaucerSwap's got to stand out somehow.
Definitely. They got to keep innovating, making sure the user experience is top-notch. But they've got a good team, a clear vision, strong community support. That gives them a real shot.
Okay, so we've talked about Hedera, SaucerSwap, all this potential. But let's step back for a sec. What does all this tell us about the future of finance in general?
It shows us that things are changing big time. The old way of doing finance, centralized and all that, it's being challenged. Decentralized platforms like Hedera are giving people more control, making things more transparent and accessible.
It's a whole new paradigm, and it's happening now. Yeah, there are challenges, but the potential benefits are huge.
Exactly. We're talking about financial inclusion, lower costs, more transparency, better security. DeFi could completely revolutionize how we think about and use money.
It's pretty incredible to be witnessing this. And Hedera, with its speed and scalability, it's playing a big part in shaping this new world.
Especially those microtransactions, doing them cheaply and efficiently. That opens up a whole world of possibilities. Things like microlending, all sorts of new financial services that just weren't possible before.
It's mind-blowing to think about how this could ripple out and change things, not just how we bank, but maybe whole industries.
Absolutely. Think about supply chains. Using Hedera's tech to track goods, make everything transparent and super efficient. Or healthcare, sharing patient data securely between doctors.
Even voting, making elections more secure and transparent.
We're just scratching the surface here. The possibilities are endless, and it shows that the most exciting stuff happens when we combine different fields and think outside the box.
This deep dive has been quite the journey, exploring Hedera and the power of DeFi. But there's one more big piece of the puzzle we need to look at: Hedera's governance.
Ah, yes, the Governing Council. That's what sets Hedera apart. Definitely sparks a lot of debate. It's a unique way of doing things. We got to look at its strengths and weaknesses, what it means for Hedera's future.
Perfect way to lead into the next part of our deep dive. Let's unravel the mystery of the Hedera Governing Council and see how it fits into the bigger picture. All right, so we've covered the tech, the DeFi stuff with SaucerSwap. But how's Hedera actually run? This Governing Council is a new one for me.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. Instead of just relying on the decentralized part like most blockchains, so they've got this council, a bunch of big organizations.
Big names, like who are we talking about?
Google's in there, IBM, Boeing, LG, even universities like UCL. Real mix of industries.
Huh. Interesting. So they kind of act like a board of directors for the whole network.
Exactly. They take turns, limited terms, each get a vote on stuff like network upgrades, any big decisions.
Okay, so more stability, I get that. But doesn't that kind of go against the whole decentralization thing that crypto's all about?
It's a trade-off for sure. Idea is this council makes things more stable, especially early on. Attracts businesses that want that reassurance.
Makes sense. Businesses like predictability. But are we sacrificing the true spirit of crypto for that?
It's a valid question. Some people say this council could be too powerful. Maybe those big members can sway things their way.
Conflicts of interest, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Stability on one side, true decentralization on the other. Guess we'll see how it plays out as Hedera grows.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Stepping back, this whole deep dive has been wild. Hashgraph, SaucerSwap trying to revolutionize finance. Hedera is doing a lot more than just being a faster blockchain.
Yeah, they're not just tweaking the tech, they're trying to change how these networks are run, how to bring those big institutions, A&D, a whole decentralized ethos together.
Big gamble. No guarantees it'll work, but they're asking the tough questions about this tech, that's for sure.
And that's the point, right? This wasn't just about Hedera itself. It's about the choices we all got to make as this stuff becomes more mainstream. Speed and order, even if it means some control. Or pure decentralization, even if it's messy.
Lot to think about. Great way to wrap things up. Big thanks to our listener for joining us on this Hedera journey. This is just the beginning, so keep researching, stay curious, and see where it all leads.